Chapter 2. They didn't take me to the dungeons like I thought they would. Instead, they took me in the same pack house I had been the night before. This time I could look around, but it was boringly basic. Lots of white and plain minimalistic furnishing. The Alpha came inside the meeting room soon after we had arrived, and I could see he was furious. It took less than a second for him to realize what I was, what we were. "Everyone out," the Alpha, our fated mate, commanded, and soon we were the only ones in the room. Getting caught was a bad idea in so many levels. I couldn't believe how stupid I was for doing this. Athena was distractingly excited but smart enough to stay quiet. "Did you know we're mates?" he demanded to know, his red eyes cold as ice piercing through me. If I hadn't got used to these kinds of looks, I would have been kneeling on the ground from fear, but he didn't affect me at all. In fact, it felt somewhat familiar. "No, I didn't," I answered half the truth, not even bothering to say more. It was a fact I didn't know when I was sent here, but I knew before I came in this room, so close enough. I didn't look away from his intense gaze even though I wanted to. Showing any form of weakness was against everything I had trained. "You're not reacting like I thought you would," he grumbled eventually and gave me a full body inspection, finally releasing me from the stare. "I could say the same thing," I answered and started to look around the room. Anything was better than continuing the starring contest with him, but keeping myself busy with the room turned out to be impossible, boring white just like everything else in this house. "So, what do you want to do?" I asked, sighing from boredom, and turned back towards him. He was studying me quietly, clearly thinking about something, but I couldn't read his face more than that. "What do you mean?" he answered with a question, looking as unbothered as I, but I couldn't know how he actually felt. "Like, are you going to reject me now or later?" I answered. He didn't seem that interested, so we should probably end this rather sooner than later. Would save us time at least. Athena whimpered inside my mind, but I ignored her. She saw what I saw. This man didn't want us the slightest. "Why would I reject you? You're mine." His voice has changed, a possessive tone taking over. In a second, he came so close to me we almost touched. When I looked up at him, his eyes flashed gold. His wolf has taken control. I could feel the electricity between us, the mate bond pulling us closer to each other. "I've done some bad things. You deserve better. But maybe if you like bad girls, it will be okay." I disguised the truth in a joke, spun around and started to walk away. Where? I didn't know. I just needed some space between us. I couldn't think straight when the mate bond was messing with my head. "Maybe I do," he said, turned me around and pressed me against the wall next to us. His eyes turned back to red, his wolf satisfied enough for his human to take back over. We both wanted to do lots of things to each other right there and then, but we were strong-minded. We resisted the pull and just stayed there for who knows how long. "We all have done some bad things," he said eventually and took half a step back, giving me more space, but not enough for me to leave. "Like killed innocent pups?" I asked. Everything in him changed in a second. He looked like he wanted to kill me. Most people would be terrified of his reaction, but it just made me relieved. What they told me about him couldn't be the truth. "Good, I hoped those rumors weren't true." I mumbled, and his expression turned confused. I wasn't surprised. There was no rumors, just what they had told me. "So, you don't enjoy killing pups?" he asked, as relieved as I was. He couldn't be as bad as I thought he was. I felt Athena's smugness when she heard my thoughts, but decided to ignore it. "I don't enjoy killing anyone, do you?" I answered and pushed him a bit so I could move away from the wall. There should be much more space between us. We just met. I barely know him. "Of course not. Who enjoys killing?" was his answer. I knew it was a rhetorical question, but I answered anyway. "I might know some psychopaths," was all I said as I walked towards a window. He followed me. I looked around for any sign there was another assassin coming to him, but of course there was none. Not yet anyway. "Should I be worried?" he asked, not taking it that seriously. "Well, they are after your head, so yes," I answered, and of course he asked who, but I couldn't tell him. "If you truly want me, you have to mark me right now. If you regret it later, just order someone to kill me." I told him more seriously as I turned back towards him. We didn't have much time left. I had to make my next move soon. "What are you talking about?" he questioned. He had so many questions I couldn't answer. There was no way he would ever agree if I didn't give him something. I had come this far. If I wanted the freedom, this was my only chance. "My alpha," he found a way to alpha command us no matter what we do, even if we go to another pack. Don't ask how, I don't know. The only thing more powerful is the marking of the true mate. I explained what I could. If it wasn't enough, I would have to disappear. It would be tough. He would find me eventually. We have tried everything. Some of us marked each other just to get the freedom, but it didn't work. The bond wasn't powerful enough to fight him.